What's up, Keep Pounding crew? We're back today with another video. Keep pounding! Today's topic is training camp day 2. If you like the video, if you like the channel, please do hit that like button, sub button, hit the bell, select all, leave a comment down below. Let's dive in. So, today's training camp, we had Roman Harper and Jake Delhomme commentating the drills. But I'm going to start out with Jake because he said a lot of interesting things here. He touched on the fact that the drills are different every day, and he pointed out that game situations change sometimes. So, should the situations change in the training camp drills to match that? So I agree with that. They kept the cardio drills from last year to help prevent injuries that we instilled. Because of all the injury problems, we had to create cardio drills and whatnot to match that issue in last year's training camp. I touched on that in a video, so I'm glad to see that stayed. Coach Rule talked up Eli Apple and said he had high expectations for him and the entire team. Now that is interesting because I touched on the fact that Eli Apple kind of took a couple of plays off in the drills last video. So we'll see how that changes going forward. And then we get into the Roman Harper part of this. And Roman Harper basically, in less than an hour, gave us an entire crash course on defensive backs. And it was absolutely fascinating. If you haven't seen it, go check out the video. I'll be linking the video in the comments down below so that you can check it out for yourselves. He starts out saying that they pumped up the sound while they're on defense on the field to ensure that everyone is using hand signals and on the same page. And I think that's a great thing to point out, because if you're not on the same page, you're not going to do well. There's going to be coverage issues. Tre Boston addressed the media and said that Thieves Avenue was back. And basically he was trying to instill the Thieves Avenue mentality into the new rookies and the new players. So I like that going forward. The injured players are to wear red and number 1. Now, is that a shot at Cam Newton? You decide. So the next thing he mentioned, Roman Harper mentioned, is creating separation from the elbow to punch the ball out on defense. And that was a Peanut Tillman tactic. He used it a lot, and he was famous for it. We've been teaching our DBs that since the very beginning, ever since Peanut Tillman came here. So I'm very excited to see that continue. Likewise, Jake touched on the fact that the running backs are taught to keep the ball high and tight to prevent fumbles. And that's going to be big during games. So, yeah, this is just pretty standard stuff, for players and fans that know their stuff. But for people that don't, this is very, very critical stuff that these players need to know before they get out on the field and play season games. It's going to matter a lot. Another thing I noticed was the starters on defense are wearing black jerseys. That's another thing we've started doing, and I like that. Because it helps you pick apart the starters from the rest of them in drills. Um, you touched on backpedaling drills. DBs are, it's an important thing because they don't do it anymore. And if you use poor technique, if you use poor ball skills as a DB, you're going to get burned. So yes, backpedaling, we brought that back, and that's a very, very good tactic and a good drill to use. Um, Another thing that stood out to me, Roman looks at everything else but the ball, and eventually everything takes you to the ball. And what he means is when he was talking to his neighbor, about watching games, he was trying to explain to him, watch everything but the ball, and eventually the play will come, you know, to the playmaker. So I like that. I like that a lot. That's a great point. And he also says, the offense tells a story. You just have to read the book. Beautiful. Beautifully said, Roman. Beautifully said, dude. Because that's exactly how it works. And a lot of people don't pick up on that, but I love that. They also mentioned that Tepper wants to use analytics. Now, here's the debate. Are you going to use the analytics as far as numbers, first down, second down, third down, fourth down, what percentage gets you the first? What are your chances of getting the first, stuff like that. And then there's the analytics of how well the player is doing on certain plays and everything else. What percentages are they using to determine how they're getting the job done? And I think that's how I interpreted what he said, but I could be wrong about that. But that's a very good point, because you do want to use analytics either way to look into the team's success, on certain things. So we're using situational football drills, and New England's very, very good at that. They train for certain situations, and if those pop up, they know what to do. That's what we need to train our players how to do, is to just know what to do in those situations. And I saw a little bit of that in training camp today with the drills, and I like that. And the last thing, what do you guys think about the hot dog eating contest? Huh? That was pretty cool, huh? I don't think I'd be able to do it. I'd probably get through 3 and that'd be it. But, granted, these guys are doing this without hot dog buns. So, how's that going to affect the weigh-ins? I don't know. You guys decide. How would you do in a hot dog eating contest? Leave some comments down below on that. I'm interested to see. That being said, thank you and have a great day. And as always, keep pounding. See you Thursday for another video.